On St. Patrick's Day in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Penguins went toe-to-toe with the New Jersey Devils. How did things go down? We're going to find out on this special St. Patrick's Day edition of Penguins Postgame. I'm Scott McGregor. This is Penguins Postgame, and it starts right now. You're locked in to Penguins Hockey on the Sports for Beginners podcast. Sidney Crosby and the Penguins play here on the Sports for Beginners podcast. Hey, showcase scores! The bingo game is ready to roll. Welcome to Penguins Postgame. A PPG for PGH. And you'd have to be here to believe it. Here is your host, Scott McGregor. What's going on, Penguins fans? What's going on? My fans of the Devils. Of course, by the time you're listening to this, the Monday matchup for the New Jersey Devils against the Columbus Blue Jackets has come and gone. But we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on the matchup from Saturday, March 15th, 2025, on this special St. Patrick's Day edition of Penguins Postgame. My name is Scott McGregor. If we were able to have it in the background, but you will see it in our audio side, to my left will be the New Jersey Devils logo. To my right is the Pittsburgh Penguins logo. And the head coaches, as we like to kick off our program. We like to kick off our program of Penguins postgame with our head coaches. The head coaches are none other than Mike Sullivan and former Toronto Maple Leaf head coach Sheldon Keefe. Our starting goaltenders, as we move on in our St. Patrick's Day show, of course, to all those who celebrated, as we are recording this now on a Tuesday, March 18th, 2025. To all those who celebrated St. Patrick's Day, happy St. Patrick's Day to you, to everyone. Hope everyone had a nice St. Patrick's Day weekend and is ready to get back into the swing of things as the games go on, even during St. Patrick's Day. Goaltenders, that's where we're going to go next. And for this matchup between Sheldon Keefe and Mike Sullivan, Sheldon Keefe would send to the box, I should say to the net, not the box, Jacob Markstrom, along with Jake Allen in at backup. Mike Sullivan would counter with Tristan Jarry and Alex Nedeljkovic to counter that. Nedeljkovic would counter. Excuse me there, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Nedeljkovic would counter as the backup to counter Jake Allen. Tristan Jarry would get the start against Jacob Markstrom, opposite net for the Pittsburgh Penguins. This matchup is the third of 4 games between the two squads. And we're going to go ahead and share our screen right now. Let me bring up our bring up the actual matchup itself. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. There we go. I also have, via my phone, I have our updates for you on our face-off dot. We will do that a little bit later. This game started 15 minutes after its scheduled time to start at 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll get into the other time zones down the road as the recording progresses. But with that all being said, let's keep the train rolling and get down to business. Let's keep the train rolling and we'll get down to business here. We are going to share the screen. There we go. Not sure if I'll be able to share my audio, but that will be something that I will work at as we go along. Let me go. Let me see if we can move this there. There we go. Want to make sure that I can actually. There we go. Okay, how about we do this? I'll make it a bit smaller here. There we go. I think that'll be fine. That ought to be okay. We should be okay. But moving on, this is our third matchup of 4 matchups between the Devils and Penguins. The Penguins have won 1 out of the 2 matchups. They have been against the New Jersey Devils, the 3 matchups they played so far. Oh, went too far. Actually, let's come down a bit more. They will play in round number 4 in New Jersey on April the 11th, 2025. The Devils have beaten Pittsburgh at home in shutout fashion. That was on December 21st, 2025. And they have now also beaten Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh has gotten even in Pittsburgh as of this past Saturday. How did they get to it? Let's do it. Let's take a look. We begin in the first period with Cody Glass on the assist, I should say not on the assist, getting the first goal of the game. Jesper Bratt picking up his 58th assist of the season. He will pick up assist number 58 on the year. And we also will see Luke Hughes pick up his 26th assist of the season. 10 minutes and 8 seconds in, the Devils have the opening goal and the opening lead thanks to Cody Glass, his 6th goal of the season. And the Penguins are down by 1. But newcomer alert, newcomer alert, newcomer alert. Connor Dewar strikes again and quickly ties things up with his 2nd goal of the season, 2nd goal as a Pittsburgh Penguin as well. And then speaking of the newcomers alert, former Toronto Maple Leafs are all around for the assist as well. Noel Acciari picking up his 6th assist of the season. Former Maple Leaf and new Penguin coming in that Connor Dewar deal to Pittsburgh that sent Connor Dewar and Connor Timmins to Pittsburgh is Connor Timmins, his 7th assist of the season. That's right, 7th assist of the season for Connor Dewar. He picks up number 7 on the season. 17 minutes and 11 seconds in. The Penguins have tied this game up at 1. It's 1-1. Penguins 1. Devils 1. Danton Heinen picking up a goal as well. Makes it 2-1. His 8th goal of the season. Philip Tomasino on the assist. The primary assist went to Philip Tomasino. That is Tomasino's 10th assist of the season. Vladis Koliachonik picking up his 4th assist of the season. If I pronounce the name wrong, I'll go with VK for short. I apologize in advance if I pronounce the name wrong. I'll have to update as we go along. I'll have to update my stuff as we go along, but you know what? That's okay. It's fine. It's okay. We're all right. Moving on. After the first 20 minutes of play, the Penguins are out shooting the New Jersey Devils 7-6. They outshot the Devils 8-7. After the second 20 minutes of play, so after 40 minutes of play, the Penguins still out shooting. They are still out shooting. They are still out shooting the New Jersey Devils. It's now, for the game, after the second period of play, it is now 15-13. Penguins in the shots on goal tally. In the first period, penalties in this one, Pittsburgh's Evgeny Malkin picking up the only penalty in the game at 12 minutes and 2 seconds in for hooking. That is a penalty to Evgeny Malkin. 2 minutes for hooking. Oh, okay. We seem to have had some issues there. We were reconnecting for a second. All right. Now we're back. Let's continue on. Moving over to the second period we go. And are we going to be able to share the screen? Let's try. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, let's see if we can do that. Ah, there we go. It took us a while, but there we go. We're back. There we go. Second period rolls around. As I mentioned, the Penguins are now out shooting. As I had mentioned, the Penguins are now out shooting the New Jersey Devils 15-13 on account of getting one extra shot in for the shots on goal in their matchup against the Devils on Saturday in the second period. Only one goal was scored in the second period. That belongs to Rickard Rakell. His 31st goal, I should say, of the season. Connor Timmins with his second of 2 assists on the game. I don't believe he got any more. No, he did not. He did not get any more assists in this one. So his second of 2 assists on the day comes at the 4-minute and 24-second mark of the period. In the second period, Sidney Crosby, the captain of the Penguins, picking up assist number 50 on the season. And one moment. There we go. There we go. We're back. There we go. We're back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. We're back. We ran into another technical issue there. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there we go. This is better. This is better. This is better for us. There we go. This will be better. Anywho, Crosby with his 50th assist of the season. Connor Timmins with his 8th assist of the season. Rickard Rakell with his 31st assist of the season. And, oh, okay, there we go. We're back again. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. We want to make sure that we're good to go. That's good. So, good thing is we're still here. Good thing. All right. Moving on. Penalties, as I will read here from my notes here. Vladis Koliachonik picking up a 2-minute minor for tripping. 1 minute and 37 seconds into the period. Of the second period, that is. And Brett Pesce picking up the only other penalty in the period. He goes for high sticking, a double minor that could have been a 2-minute minor, but it ends up being a double minor. So it's a 4-minute high sticking penalty for the New Jersey Devils is Brett Pesce. He did take another Devils penalty. This was in the third period. But he takes the only Devils penalty in the second period after the Devils stay out of the penalty box in the first period of play. Penguins have been in the penalty box for quite a bit. And the penalties continued into the third. Speaking of the third, we'll start with the penalties in there. Noel Acciari getting things started. 3 minutes and 21 seconds in. I meant to say 21. As he receives a double minor for high sticking. Evgeny Malkin also receiving a double minor for high sticking. This one at 5 minutes and 46 seconds in. It is important to note during these double minors to Malkin and Acciari, the New Jersey Devils would score on the power play until Brett Pesce, he got lucky last time, but this time the Penguins will score on this penalty, a 2-minute minor for cross-checking to Brett Pesce at 12 minutes and 25 seconds in. Speaking of scoring, here's how it all went down. Pretty crazy third period on St. Patrick's Day weekend on a Saturday, but here we go. Philip Tomasino puts the Penguins up 4-1. They were up 3-1 at the end of 40 minutes of play. So they were up by 2 at the end of 40 minutes of play. At the start of the final 20 minutes of play, the Penguins go up 4-1. They were up by 2 at the end of 2. Up by 3 at the start of 3. At the start of period 3, Philip Tomasino with his 10th goal of the season, unassisted. And that comes at 2 minutes and 2 seconds in. The New Jersey Devils counter back-to-back on the power play during the double minors to Evgeny Malkin. And, of course, Noel Acciari. Timo Meier first with his 19th goal of the season. Jesper Bratt with his second assist of the day, number 59 of the season. Simon Nemec. Simon N, I should say. Second assist of the season for him. Not too shabby. But definitely not a goal that we wanted to give up as Penguin fans. 5 minutes and 40 seconds is the time of that power play goal for NJD. Nico Hischier comes back with a goal, his 28th of the season, another PPG for NJD. Luke Hughes with his second assist of the day, number 27 on the season. Luke Hughes with one on the Cody Glass, with an assist on the Cody Glass goal. Jesper Bratt with one on that goal as well. He picks up his third assist of the hockey game. And just like that, a 4-1 Penguins lead has become a 4-3 Penguins lead after back-to-back power play goals during a double minor. 2 double minors to be exact. But the Penguins quickly strike on the power play on that penalty to Brett Pesce for cross-checking. A PPG for PGH, as Josh Getzoff would say. Or PIT, rather, as that is the abbreviation. Pittsburgh is on the board now, leading 5-3. They're back up by 2. Thanks to Erik Karlsson's EK65. It's his 10th goal of the season. Evgeny Malkin has reached 31 assists on the season. Christopher Letang picking up assist number 19 on the season. And of course, time of the goals on the power play, 5 minutes and 40 seconds and 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Time of the Karlsson power play goal, 14 minutes, 17 seconds in the third period. The empty net goal would go to Connor Dewar, his second goal of the game and third goal as a Penguin and of the season. Dewar tied things up early in the first period of this one. And now he's made it a 3-goal lead for Pittsburgh, as it's now 6-3 Penguins. It's now 6-3 Pittsburgh in this one. On the goal by Connor Dewar, his third goal of the season, third as a Penguin, and also second goal of the day, an empty net goal, as this is when Jacob Markstrom is pulled. Time of the goal, 19 minutes, 5 seconds. And then, of course, just a little bit later, Kevin Hayes picking up goal number 10 on the season. Emil Bemstrom picking up assist number 1 on the year at the 19-minute and 38-second mark to make it a 4-goal lead for the Penguins, and that is where it would stay. the Penguins were outshot 14-9 by the Devils at the end of regulation. And that means that the Penguins were outshot for the game. They were outshot 27-24 in favor of the Devils. The remaining game stats are on the way in just a little bit and are 3 stars of the game as well. So be sure to stick with us because those are coming up next, as well as our play of the game. Just because we're trying this out for a second, we're not going to go ahead and share the audio with you, but I am going to pick out my play of the game, and you're going to find out all about what those are incorporated with. You're going to find out what those are incorporated with in just a few minutes when you listen to the Penguins Radio Network, all presented by S&T Bank. Penguins postgame will return right after this. 3 stars. Play of the game. Remaining stats for the game. All coming up next on Penguins postgame. Stick with us. Be there, be there, be there. Oh boy, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., what a pitch he took into the house. Blue Jays, Orioles, Thursday, March 27th at 3:07 p.m. Watch it on Sportsnet or stream it on the sportsnet.ca app or even on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, your home of the Blue Jays. And don't miss Jays Talk right after. Go into the ball game. Grab your tickets now for opening day before they're gone. Head over to bluejays.com right now /tickets. And don't forget to catch the return of Blue Jays game recap on Sports for Beginners right after the series, right after the homestand rather, with yours truly, Scott McGregor, that's me, alongside my co-host, or the host of the On the Ice and Behind the Benches version, Thomas McGregor. Blue Jays game recap returns this spring. Don't miss it. You know something? Every time I need to get away from sports, or get away from politics, rather, there's always that sudden feeling I need to listen to a music station, a radio station, if you will. Kind of like Sienna T Radio. Oh, the best programming you can think of. Like on Saturdays, they do the Melting Pot, the Classical Cafe, and who could forget the Hourglass. And on a week-to-week basis, Sienna hosts her own shows, like the Cosmopolitan Culture Club, with so many great features, and my personal favorite, the Song Bank, which is always on at 7 p.m. Eastern, each and every alternative Friday. I have never come across such a great show in my life. Name that tune, and the big wheel that Sienna spins for Who's That or Where Are We? And who could forget about the international stage? Come join the fun with us on Sienna T Radio, making your day brighter, one song at a time. Now I can hear more cheerful noise, and that sounds good to me.
Sienna T Radio will never give you up. They will never let you down, nor will they run around or desert you. So join Nick Astley for The Melting Pot every Saturday on Sienna T Radio. Hang on a minute. He's not Nick Astley. Oh, jings, I've done it wrong. Anyway, just join Nick for The Melting Pot on Sienna T Radio.
Welcome back into Penguins postgame. Penguins and the Devils St. Patrick's Day game recap. Of course, St. Patrick's Day was yesterday, and the game was 3 days ago on Saturday, March 15th, 2025. My name is Scott McGregor. I did a little two programming notes there. Not really programming notes. I actually did some promos while we were in a break for our good friends over at Sienna T Radio, making your day brighter, one song at a time. And I also want to extend my happiness gratitude because, ladies and gentlemen, opening day is here. It hasn't come yet for any other teams, but for the Dodgers and the team they are playing in Tokyo, opening day has come. Join us this April following the season series against the Baltimore Orioles and the Washington Nationals for Blue Jays game recap, homestand recap. You'll get my thoughts on how the Blue Jays fared against the Baltimore Orioles to kick things off. And to close things out, we'll take a look at how the Blue Jays fare against the Washington Nationals in a 3-game set. We will be recording that, depending on timing. We will record that most likely as audio. It may not be in video format, but regardless, it might be an audio site. Either way, you'll be able to hear it for yourself. And that will be the day of the finale of the National Series, which is a 3:07 start at Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025. Speaking of the Blue Jays, they continue their spring training action tonight against the Baltimore Orioles. While spring training wraps up with the final couple games, we just keep getting closer to opening day. For the rest of the baseball fanatics. But the Tokyo series has gotten things started for us in opening day. And we'll reveal those finals on this Friday's episode of Sports for Beginners. But back to hockey talk. Back to the hockey talk. It's time for our stats of the game. To do that, we're going to start things off by going over my phone and going over the stats minus our shots on goal. Afterwards, we will share the screen to bring you the 3 stars of the contest. And a disclaimer just before we can get down to all that. The 3 stars of the game on the Penguins Radio Network are brought to you by your neighborhood Ford stores in Pittsburgh. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs are the official vehicles of the Pittsburgh Penguins. How's that for a powerhouse squad? All right, we'll get to those in just a second. And we'll get to our play of the game disclaimer a little bit later as well. As you heard before the break, the New Jersey Devils may have lost this game 7-3, but they defeated the Penguins in the shots on goal category 27-24 in a game that saw 60 face-offs, the Penguins winning 55% of those face-offs. 33 out of 60 were won by the Penguins. The Devils won 27 out of 60 of those face-offs for 45% of those face-off wins. 45% of the face-off wins in this one. The Devils go 2 for 3 on the penalty kill as the Penguins connect on one of their 3 opportunities on the power play. The Devils go 2 for 6 on the power play. The Penguins 4 for 6 on the penalty kill. They spent 12 minutes in the box. Were out hit, not really, but out hit 23-22 in the hits category, as the Devils had one more hit than the Penguins did. And speaking of the Devils, they spent 6 minutes in the penalty box. They blocked 8 of Pittsburgh's 24 shots on goal. Pittsburgh blocked 16 of the shots on goal out of the 27 that the Devils had. They blocked 16 of the Devils' shots on goal. The Penguins gave the puck away 23 times, and we also see that the Devils give the puck away 20 times in this one. The Devils mustered 2 takeaways, but the Penguins had 2 more than the Devils did. They get 4 takeaways to end the game. All right, time now for your 3 stars of the game. As I mentioned in our disclaimer before we got into the stats of the game. The 3 stars of the game on the Penguins Radio Network, they are brought to you by your neighborhood Ford stores in Pittsburgh. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs are the official vehicles of the Pittsburgh Penguins. We are not sponsored by it, but let's find out who those 3 stars are. Your third star went to defenseman of the Penguins, Connor Timmins. 2 assists, 2 points, no goals in this game. Your second star goes to Penguin center, Connor Dewar. 2 goals, no assists, 2 points. And your first star belongs to Philip Tomasino. 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points. Those are your 3 stars of the game. If you have any and I mean any difference of opinion in that, please find our Discord server, Penguins Postgame Show, Discord. No, Penguins Postgame Show, Interactions, I should say. That's what that is, the Interactions. Please find the Penguins Postgame Show, Interactions on our Discord server. A link will be provided in our description of the episode for your eyes to check in. Of course, you can do that as well for the game puck of the game, which is coming up in a little bit. And our shake of the game, which will get things started. The shake of the game will get things started for that portion. And we also want to remind you that we are going to look ahead to those games, including the game that the Devils played on Monday, which was yesterday, on St. Patrick's Day. We'll look ahead to when that game was starting and add in a sixth game, given the fact that the Penguins are about to go head-to-head with their opponent, as of tonight, the New York Islanders. But once again, your three stars, Philip Tomasino, Connor Dewar, and Connor Timmins. Philip Tomasino with the first star, 1 goal, 1 assist, and 2 points. All right. Time now for the play of the game. That is brought to you by on the Penguins Radio Network that we are not sponsored by. Again, same thing for the 3 stars of the game. We are not sponsored by that, what I just mentioned in our disclaimer for that one. Brought to you by your neighborhood Ford stores in Pittsburgh. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, the official vehicles of the Pittsburgh Penguins. But the play of the game on the Penguins Radio Network is brought to you by that is brought to you by Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh's entertainment destination. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. If you have questions or concerns about your gambling or somebody close to you in Ontario, please contact Connex Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge. You must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly. Once again, if you have questions or concerns about your gambling or somebody close to you, please contact Connex Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge. Only if you're in Ontario. Gambling problem in the States, especially in Pittsburgh, call 1-800-GAMBLER. We are not sponsored by it, but just a quick disclaimer. For me, my play of the game, if we had a guest on for our show, I would give them the floor. But for me, my play of the game, it was kind of decided when I wasn't really looking. And I happened to be eating at a special commitment I was making for a family get-together. I happened to be eating at this time, and I said to one of the members of my one of the people that I was with, I said, I turn around and I look up and it's 3-1 Pens, and I didn't even notice it. Rickard Rakell's 31st goal this season, even though I didn't see it when I was actually able to catch it live after the Blue Jays game on that Saturday. That's good enough for my play of the game. Even though I didn't see it when I was able to see it live on that screen, I didn't see it, but it was at the 4-minute and 24-second mark of the period. Rickard Rakell's 31st goal. Good enough for my play of the game. And that, of course, brings us to our second commercial break of the program. Coming up when we continue on Penguins postgame, right after this quick word from our friends over at Sienna T Radio, minus the one I did before, and of course, Broadcast Map, and Take Another Look podcast. It's time to take a look around the NHL at our Saturday action. The other 10 games that went down on Saturday, on St. Patrick's Day Saturday. We will get you a look at those games, and I will also provide you via my phone with a look at our matchup of games from Sunday. Only 7 games on the slate, not including the Devils or the Penguins. In that one, we'll do that via my phone. But in order to do that, I want to get through Saturday before we get to the shake of the game. That, and of course the game puck of the game, is coming up next. When Penguins postgame, Pens and Devils continues. Stick with us.
I wonder if I could make it. It's almost getting to 8:00 p.m., and I am still a few more steps away from home to get to my computer to listen to Sienna T Radio's Cosmopolitan Culture Club. The best of the best music from around the world. Can't wait! I think I made it! Sienna T Radio, making your day brighter, one song at a time.
Take another look with Gerda Felix and Melanie Taddeo Malo, two powerful women of diverse backgrounds having genuine, unique, and uncomfortable conversations that everyone needs to have. Join Melanie and Gerda for conversations about what is missing from human connections.
Looking for conversations on the world of broadcasting, sports media, and from time to time, my favorite sports teams? Listen to Broadcast Map with me, Ali Musa. To learn more about the show and to view the upcoming schedule, like the Broadcast Map Facebook page. Search Broadcast Map.
Welcome back to Penguins postgame, ladies and gentlemen. Penguins and the Devils. Penguins beat the Devils 7-3. They are now one game away from tying up the season series between They are now one game away from tying up the season series with the New Jersey Devils. Here's a look at the other action that went down on Saturday. And of course, I know that Thomas on Maple Leaf Post Recap will bring us all the action we need from Maple Leaf Post Recap. Let's take a look at our action, shall we? We'll begin in Buffalo. And in Buffalo, the Buffalo Sabres, as this is our Saturday NHL look-around. The Buffalo Sabres picking up a dub. They picked up a dub in the shootout at 4-3. They beat the Vegas Golden Knights 4-3 in a shootout. It was the Lightning coming out on top of the Boston Bruins 6-2 down in Boston. And the Capitals picking up a 5-1 win over the Sharks. Alexander Ovechkin only needs 8 goals to catch Wayne Gretzky. Actually, I should say to break Wayne Gretzky's record. But he's coming up on Gretzky's record. He's down to single digits in a 5-1 win over the Sharks. His streak continues and his chase continues. Down in Toronto, the Ottawa Senators won the Battle of Ontario 3-0, beating Toronto 4-2 on Saturday. In Montreal, the Montreal Canadiens had a lead. It got tied up, but the Canadiens never looked back. Well, actually, no, they never saw the game get tied up. Cole Caulfield quickly made it 2-0, and then it became 2-1. But it was Christian Dewar to send this game into the books in a 3-1 final for the Canadiens. 3 shutouts to speak of, I should say. The Hurricanes shut out the Flyers 5-0. The Rangers shut out the Blue Jackets 4-0 on Saturday. The St. Louis Blues pick up a 5-1 win over the Wild. So the Capitals aren't the only one with a 5-1 win, I should say. The Blues also picking up a 5-1 win over the Minnesota Wild. The Kings victorious in overtime. Quinton Byfield with the overtime winner in a 1-0 shutout win in overtime. 6-2, the Canucks knock off Connor Bedard and the Blackhawks in Vancouver. Those are our Saturday finals, and we'll get to our Sunday finals in just a few moments. But it is now time for the shake of the game. This is inspired by Jake Gensel's Milkshake Factory ad, created originally by Jake Gensel and the Milkshake Factory when Jake was still a Pittsburgh Penguin. It is now currently being run by Brian Rust. So remember, Penguins fans, whenever Brian Rust scores, you score half off Rusty Shakes the next day at the Milkshake Factory. That's right, next day at the Milkshake Factory. When Brian Rust scores, you score half off Rusty Shakes the next day at the Milkshake Factory. It was St. Patrick's Day, so we're feeling given. Players who receive honorable mentions will get into the running for the game puck of the game. coming up later in the last segment of the show. But I will end this segment off after the shake of the game with our Sunday look around. 7 games on the slate, a lot to talk about that we will get into. And with that all being said, let's get to it. We're going to start with the New Jersey Devils. The first shake of the game for the New Jersey Devils, that is going to go to Devils goaltender Jacob Markstrom. 1 goal given up on the power play, 5 goals given up at even strength, 6 goals in total given up. Finishes the day with 5, I should say not 5, a save percentage of .739. Time on the ice, 58 minutes and 1 second. Not a good game for Jacob Markstrom, but it's a pick-me-up shake of the game for him. 17 nice saves on 23 shots. Not too bad. Not too bad. Next up, we're going to give the shake of the game, an actual shake of the game, not a pick-me-up. That's going to go to Jesper Bratt. 3 assists, 3 points. His stats speak for themselves. Really like what I saw from Bratt. But to me, it looked like to me, guys, ladies and gentlemen, it looked like Jesper was really trying his hardest to blank Tristan Jarry. Oh, by the way, this was the 4th start for Tristan since he started at the end of a 3-game road trip down in Minnesota when the Wild faced the Penguins for the last time this season. So, oh, by the way, the Penguins have had quite some good starts by Tristan Jarry. We'll get to that in a second. But honorable mentions, we're going to give you 3. Former Penguin Brian Dumoulin. 2-time assists, Luke Hughes. He got 2 assists in this one. And Cody Glass, a former Penguin. So we got Cody Glass, we got Brian Dumoulin, we got Luke Hughes. Those are our 3 honorable mentions, and those are in the running for the game puck of the game. To Nathan Bastian, though, during the Devils game against the Penguins, I do feel like he kind of got robbed on an offside call that was very clearly offside. So I applaud Mike Sullivan for challenging it, but I was on the edge of my seat when this challenge happened. We'll talk about that more a little later. Maybe I'll talk about it on the Islanders recap. We don't know. We'll wait and see. My hope is to actually get this show out before that game drops the puck against the Islanders. We tried to do it before the Devils and the Blue Jackets did it, but we didn't get it done. And that's okay. We'll start things off before we get to the shake of the game for the Penguins with the game puck of the game honorable mentions that are going into the running, and those belong to Penguins goal scorer Kevin Hayes, Penguins newcomer and two-time goal scorer Connor Dewar, and Penguins captain Sidney Crosby. As for the shake of the game, the two recipients of the shake of the game are Penguins goaltender Tristan Jarry, 24 saves on 27 shots, 3 goals given up, 1 goal at even strength, 2 goals on the power play. Finished the night with a save percentage of .889 and 60 minutes total on the ice. Really nice game by Tristan Jarry despite giving up the goals he gave up. And the last person to get a shake of the game, that belongs to Penguins newcomer from Toronto, not Connor Dewar, Connor Timmins, 2 assists, 2 points. He was a +4, but the dude was really good. Also want to give some honorable mentions to Vladis Koliachonik. If I pronounce the name wrong, again, I apologize. I'll go with VK just in case. But our honorable mention and those that are going into the running for the game puck of the game coming up in just a couple of minutes' time. And after this final break of the show, they are Kevin Hayes, Connor Dewar, and Penguins captain Sidney Crosby for the Penguins. For the Devils, they are Cody Glass, Brian Dumoulin, and Luke Hughes. One of those 3 men for the Devils and one of those 3 men for the Penguins will get the game puck of the game coming up in just a few short moments. But right now, via my phone to take us to break, let's find out what happened on Sunday. 7 games on the slate. And we will start in the Motor City. The Detroit Red Wings taking down the Golden Knights 3-0 on Sunday. Off to Denver, Colorado we go, where the Avalanche and Cale Makar knock off the Stars. They knock off the Dallas Stars 4-3 in overtime. The Edmonton Oilers, thanks to goals from Connor McDavid, Victor Albertson, and Corey Perry, knock off the Rangers 3-1. 4-2 the final, the Islanders knocking off the Panthers at 4-2. The Blues knock off the Ducks 7-2 in their game. Canucks saw the hockey club visit, and they were defeated 3-1 thanks to goals by Kevin Stinlin, Logan Cooley, and Clayton Keller. And in Seattle, it's the Winnipeg Jets coming through with a win, 3-2 in overtime. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is about 1 hour of a program now, so we are going to go ahead and take the final break of the show. When we come back after this, from on the ice and behind the benches in 30 seconds, we jump into the game puck of the game recipients. For Devils versus Penguins, and we jump into what's next for the Devils, what's next for the Penguins. It all happens when we return after this from on the ice and behind the benches in 30 seconds. Stick right with us. Penguins postgame, the St. Patrick's Day showdown between the Pens and the Devils wraps up on the other side.
Looking for a good hockey podcast that covers your favorite hockey teams and mine? Check out On the Ice and Behind the Benches, where we chat about our favorite hockey teams from puck drop to the last play of the action. To learn more, follow the On the Ice and Behind the Benches Facebook page. Search On the Ice and Behind the Benches.
Welcome back, everyone, to Penguins Postgame. My name is Scott McGregor. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all who celebrate it. I hope you enjoyed your St. Patrick's Day weekend, as well as your Monday on St. Patrick's Day. Well, St. Patrick's Day is come and gone, but the games continue as the 28, 31, and 10 Penguins prepare to face the 30, 28, and 8 Islanders. Game time coming up in just about how long do we have? According to my timer, how long do we have? In just about 5 hours and 26 minutes. Game time coming up in just about 5 hours and 28 minutes. If you're going to check out some baseball action, preferably the Blue Jays, whether it be on Sportsnet or on the Sportsnet radio network, we are just 4 hours and 31 minutes away from first pitch between the Orioles and the Blue Jays. But with all that being said, it's time for the game puck of the game. If you would like to get in on the action, head on over to the Discord server, Penguins Postgame Show Interactions, or send an email to sportsforbeginnerspodcast 8231@gmail.com. Once again, that's sportsforbeginnerspodcast 8231@gmail.com. Our players in the running for Pittsburgh: Kevin Hayes, Connor Dewar, and Penguins captain Sidney Crosby. The players from the Devils in the running are, yes they are. Who are they? Oh yes, I remember. Brian Dumoulin, Cody Glass, and Luke Hughes. Let's start with the Devils. And we're going to go ahead and give our first, yes, I said our first game puck of the game to the New Jersey Devils. The first one is going to go to, shocker, it's going to go to Nathan Bastian. But he wasn't even an honorable mention. Well, we actually did honorable mention him, but I forgot to let you know that he would be in the running. That's my bad. So Nathan Bastian's going to get the game puck of the game, despite his goal being offside and reviewed to be offside. Now for Pittsburgh, our game puck of the game. That's going to go to Connor Dewar. That's going to go to Connor Dewar. That's going to go to Connor Dewar. That is going to go to Connor Dewar. 2 goals in the game. Dude, stay hot. You've been hot since you came to Pittsburgh. Yeah, okay, only 1 goal in your first game as a Penguin. But 2 goals on a Saturday in Pittsburgh? You keep doing what you're doing, my friend. Keep doing what you're doing. Connor Dewar and Nathan Bastian, game puck of the game recipient for the Penguins and for the New Jersey Devils. The Devils with Nathan Bastian, Connor Dewar, game puck of the game recipient for the Penguins. For the Devils, it's Nathan Bastian. Speaking of the Devils, let's go ahead and change tactics here. From the game puck of the game to what's next. From the game puck of the game to what's next for the Devils and the Penguins. Their game on Monday has just gone final. That was part of their next 5 games. And it started again at 7 p.m. Eastern. That was the puck drop time. 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pacific. As that wrapped up a 2-game road trip for the New Jersey Devils. They are now going to begin a 3-game homestand, I should say, which will feature the Calgary Flames this Thursday, the Ottawa Senators on Saturday, both games at 7 p.m. Eastern. Then at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central, 4:30 p.m. Pacific. That 3-game homestand will wrap up with the Vancouver Canucks coming to town before a mini 3-game road trip starts things off in the Windy City at the same time slot of the Vancouver game in Newark, New Jersey. They will head to the Windy City to kick off this 3-game road trip at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central, 4:30 p.m. Pacific against Connor Bedard and the Chicago Blackhawks. From there, they go head-to-head with the Winnipeg Jets at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. And then it's an early puck drop in Minneapolis, Minnesota as part of a home-and-home series to end the month of March. But basically, in our next five, it went the Jackets, Flames, Senators, Canucks, and Hawks. We added in the Winnipeg Jets because that game against the Blue Jackets has just gone final. And the Devils have won that game 2-1. What about what's next? What about what's next for the Pittsburgh Penguins? What's next for the Penguins? Well, at the timing of our recording, oh, we seem to have lost our shared screen there for a second. Let's try this. Come on. Come on. We had the shared screen going on there for a second. Let's see. Can we get it on? There we go. Ah, here we go. At the timing of our recording, as I said, they will take on the New York Islanders at 7 p.m. Eastern Time in just under 5 minutes, 5 hours, I should say, and now 17 minutes and counting. And of course, the baseball game is in 4 hours and 22 minutes from now. That's against the Orioles for the Blue Jays. The Islanders going head-to-head with the Penguins tonight. The Penguins will face the Blue Jackets on Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pacific, before they go on a 3-game road trip. Kicking off in Florida against the Panthers at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Pacific, from Florida on Sunday, March 23rd, 2025. Next Tuesday, March 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern, they go toe-to-toe with the Tampa Bay Lightning for the final time. 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pacific. Same time for the game against Buffalo the following Thursday, following this Thursday, which is the 20th of March. They will take on the Buffalo Sabres to close out our next five, adding in another game there for their sixth game. That would be the Ottawa Senators at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, that actually makes more sense. 2 p.m. Pacific. From PPG Paints Arena on the final Sunday of March for 2025. The last month of the season in the NHL 2024-2025 season is coming. And that means not a lot of hockey games left to be played. The Penguins beat the Devils on Saturday, March 15th, 2025, 7-3. They are one game away from tying up the season series, which wraps up in April, on April 11th, 2025. But right now, the Penguins turn their attention to the Islanders looking to do what they are on the verge of doing when they next battle the New Jersey Devils. The Islanders lead that season series 2-1, same as the Devils do in the series we were talking about just now. Can the Penguins even the season series and keep the good times going in Pittsburgh as their 5-game homestand draws to a close with one more game on the homestand after this one on Tuesday night? We'll find out in due time. For now, my name is Scott McGregor. Thank you guys so much for joining us here today on the show. Would love it if you took a second to rate, review, and share the podcast. Have a great rest of your day. Let's go Pens. And I look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow after this game to break down Tuesday's action. Pens, Islanders, season series wraps up tonight. Who's it going to be with the big win? Will the Islanders win the season series 3-1? Or will the Penguins keep the momentum going and really start making a push for the playoffs on a 4-game winning streak? Can they make it 5? We'll find out the answers on our Wednesday broadcast. But you can't get rid of me that easily. I'll be back on Thursday to bring you our next Friday episode, getting us ready for the Blue Jackets and the Penguins, as well as opening day Orioles versus Blue Jays. All that on this week's episode of Sports for Beginners. For now, let's go Pens. I will see you real soon, Pens Nation. Enjoy the hockey game, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has just left the building. You've just listened to Pittsburgh Penguins hockey on the Sports for Beginners podcast. To learn more about the show and to view the upcoming schedule, like the Sports for Beginners Facebook page. Search Sports for Beginners or visit the official Sports for Beginners podcast website. Thanks for listening, and until next time, stay tuned. And remember that it is not goodbye, it is until next time. And you'd have to be here to believe it.